Right, Alive by Design, that all came about just from my history, my testimony, what I had. And when I was 25 years old, I was a guy who looked a certain way. I was a guy who ate right. I exercised every day, and I was doing everything that I thought you needed to do to be healthy. And I even won Mr. America when I was 21, 22. So that's the way I looked. I was a guy on the magazines, and I started getting sick, and everything I ate went through me. And later on, we found out in just a short time that I was diagnosed with an incurable disease called ulcerative colitis. And that's an autoimmune disease from my own body. My immune system is destroying my body, it's destroying my colon. And within a very short period of time, I went from 215 pounds down to 167 pounds. I'm bleeding every single day, 15, 20 times a day, and there's just no more hope. And all I was on 8 different medications, and medications weren't working, just get me sicker and sicker. And I just felt like damaged goods. And let's face it, here my whole identity was on how I looked, or how what I was known for this bodybuilding title or that. And now I was just being stripped away from everything. And at that time, I thought, would I ever have a family? Would I ever be able to supply for my family? Would I ever have children? Just every fear, imagination, depression was setting in, and I felt like I had no more hope. And the only option they had for me was just to remove my entire colon, and I would wear a bag for the rest of my life. And that was just not the option. No one ever wants to hear. One of my teachers, he's like, you got to check out this doctor, and he's a corrective care chiropractor. And I just like, well, you don't understand. I have ulcerative colitis. I have this disease, this incurable disease, that the best of Dallas, Texas at the time, no one could help me with. And sure enough, when I went to see this guy, and he taught me about 5 very important essentials in my life. And through these essentials, and through clearing my nervous system, that's where we have maximized essential number 1, is just clearing that nervous system, making sure that I was taught that your brain controls everything. That God put the most amazing healing power in your brain, and it controls everything. All life flows from above down, inside out. There's not one cell of the 76 trillion cells that you have that doesn't even move or is alive without the brain telling it to. So in order for your heart to beat, or your lungs to breathe, if you digest your food, for your immune system to destroy cancer, for you to experience love or any emotions, everything has to come, from that brain, all the intelligence God put in there. So through those essentials, that's where we had number 1, maximizing your nerve flow, your nerve potential, making sure the messages from the brain could coordinate and get to every part of your body so you're optimally healthy. Then that second essential is we have to remove toxins from the body. There's toxins coming from 4.5 billion prescription of medications out there. That's toxic. Food we're eating is toxic. Then we have the third essential, maximizing an essential, and that is, maximizing food by God. We have to maximize the food that God has created us to live and thrive and survive off of. God didn't create junk, so you're not junk. He didn't create junk food. Then that goes into the fourth essential, which is maximizing oxygen and lean muscle, or exercise, knowing that if we were created to move, and motion alone is amazing what that could do for you. It just from lowering depression to fighting heart disease. And then when your body's physically strong, now the temple is where it needs to be, because remember, our body is just not where we live in, it's where God lives in, where the Holy Spirit lives in. And now we're ready for essential number 5, which is the mission. That's building peaceful relationships. That's the priority. That's the mission that, we were called to do something. Every single person is not on this earth just to exist. Each and every single one of you, or everybody out there, they have a specific purpose and plan that God has in for their life. And we want every single person to be able to reach the capacity to fulfill the purpose and the plan God has on their life. So you could truly be used as a beacon of light to every single person you come in contact with, and never retire, at all. Just pursue and pursue to reach the gifts and the talents, and pursue the mission God has given you in your life.